A wrongful death claim is a claim that is brought on behalf of a loved one that was tragically killed in an accident or incident. A common example would be a car crash that unfortunately resulted in a death. The law permits the family or the survivors to bring a wrongful death claim. In New York, the class of people who can receive compensation based on the death of a loved one is the spouse, the children, the parents of the person who lost their life, or if none of those exist, the siblings of the person who lost their life. New York has a separate court called a surrogates court that appoints a case representative to handle the matter on behalf of the estate. When you are appointed, you are referred to as the administrator of the estate. If the person who lost their life had a will, you would be referred to as the executor. At Raphaelson Levine Law Firm, we aggressively litigate wrongful death claims. Wrongful death damages in New York are limited to two types of claims. The first is called conscious pain and suffering. That means that the person who tragically lost their life had to actually suffer and be aware of that suffering. The person to receive this type of compensation could not have been killed instantly or rendered unconscious and unable to feel pain and suffering following the incident. Our team has worked aggressively with forensic pathologists to detail the conscious pain and suffering that has been sustained by family members of our clients. The second element of damages is called pecuniary loss. This is very simple. If you think of the loss of income that a family has sustained if a loved one has lost their life. To give you an example, a young father loses his life in a car crash and he's survived by his wife and two children. His wife is a stay-at-home mom raising their children, the pride of their family. He loses his life and that family loses their income, their ability to financially support themselves. If that person was 30 years old, to use a simple example, and he would have worked till 65 years old, he's entitled to that 35 years loss of income that family has now been robbed of and been deprived of. We work with economists and other experts to project out the totality of the loss that the family has sustained. Together, conscious pain and suffering and pecuniary loss make up the elements of damage you are entitled to in a wrongful death claim. If your loved one has lost their life tragically in any type of incident or accident, please call the Raphaelson Levine Law Firm so we could provide you guidance through the process. Our team is experienced in handling all aspects of wrongful death claims throughout the entire state of New York and New Jersey. Let our experience help guide you through this tremendously difficult time. Please accept our sincere condolences on this terrible loss in your family's life.